What's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm drinking. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please subscribe, please comment, please like, please share. Tell your mom, your dad, your cousin, whoever about That's My Cue. Today is going to be episode number 4 of Quarantine and Cooking in the Q, featuring none other than your boy, Q. In today's episode, I will be preparing for you guys smothered pork chops over a bed of white rice, sautéed spinach. It's going to be amazing because I actually made this recipe before and I know it's going to be good. I cannot wait to finish cooking and I cannot wait to eat it. I was supposed to make steak. Grocery store failed me. It's all good. I might make that next week, but I'm gonna kill this pork chop tonight. Also, in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys traveling 101. Some do's, some don'ts, and a lot of things that have helped me over the last few years that I've been traveling, and hopefully it's gonna help you guys. But beyond the cooking, beyond the travel tips, how is everybody? How is everybody doing dealing with quarantine and the coronavirus? Leave your comments below. I promise I want to hear from you and I will reply. Because this is a time where I want to encourage people to keep your head up. You know, stay encouraged, stay positive. And I don't want to say any cliches or anything that's gonna be like, you're just saying that. No, I want you to know I'm genuinely concerned because this is a difficult time for everybody. For example, me. Every day is not an easy day. I wake up every single day, I pray, I make my bed. And no, I'm not making my bed just for this video. I literally make my bed because it's mental for me. I have to have some type of routine to keep me going. You might see me working out. You might see me journaling. Oh, Missy Elliott has this cool off challenge, this new dance. Y'all.
Got 100 bands going ham. We don't give a damn. It go up and down, round and round like a ceiling fan. 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 Round like a ceiling fan.
Y'all see? Out of breath, about to pass out, probably looking dumb, not doing all the moves, whatever. But I've been doing a lot of different things to make sure that I am occupied and I am busy during this time. Today I got up. My boy Oscar, shout out to you Oscar, came and picked me up. We went to the park and we just sat under the trees and just like enjoyed nature. The birds, the blue skies, the green grass. It was just a beautiful day today. You know, after I left there, I came back home, ended up going to see a car. I'm trying to get a car. I'm tired of paying for Uber. Went to the grocery store, got the things I needed to cook today, and now I'm back home and I'm about to prepare this awesome meal for you guys. I do really want to encourage you guys. I really, really do. Try to see the good in this situation. It's very unusual. None of us have ever been through anything like this, especially the millennials. It's just something unheard of. And at first, I'll be honest, I didn't take it as seriously, but having my grandparents were positive, my auntie, one of my uncles, it's a real thing and it's scary. But you just have to keep your mind on the positive. Be grateful for everything that's happening. You know, I still have my job, and although I'm not working right now, I'm still employed and I'm still getting paid. But I didn't even realize that I needed a break from my job. I needed a break from the regular life that I had. I'm always on the go, always doing something. And I didn't realize I needed to sit down and like, until I was forced to. And I'm so grateful for it. Granted, I do miss all my friends. I miss traveling. I've missed so many trips this year. You know, but I'm gonna make it up when the world reopens. But I'm used to human interaction. I'm stimulated by other people, and the fact that I'm not able to do that as often, it gets tough. But I just think of the end. Everything in life has its season. Everything in life has its time period, and nothing is forever. Everything has its own season, and once its season is up, then that's it. You just keep it moving. So that's my thought process. This will be over. This will be over before we know it. This will be over before we know it. And things will be back to normal. Hopefully, we learn from this. You know what I'm saying? We learn to appreciate life more. We learn to appreciate, you know, our jobs more. We learn to appreciate essential workers, you know, doctors and nurses and grocery store workers and flight attendants and pilots and janitors and just people who have to still work during this time. Hopefully, we appreciate them more because they're sacrificing every single day, going to work and basically being the frontliners for this coronavirus. And so I just want to say shout out to all of the essential workers out there. No matter what your job title is, you are important, you are appreciated, and you are loved. All right, enough of me preaching and all that sentimental stuff. Sit back, relax, and I'll see you guys in the kitchen. First, here we have our pork chops. They're the thin ones, not the ones I want, but they're gonna have to do today. Baby spinach and an onion, some butter, flour to make the roux, chicken stock, heavy whipping cream, Uncle Ben's rice, which I've never cooked, minced garlic, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. The thyme is the star of the dish, and of course, my bacon. So excuse my do-rag. I feel like that's a little homely, but I'm at home, so I can do this. I don't have a haircut because, yeah, no barbershops are open, and my backup barber only works by appointment, so excuse this. I'm gonna get started with this pork chop dinner tonight. I'm gonna start cutting up this bacon because I'm gonna use that as some garnish, and it's gonna be the base of my, I guess, oil or grease or whatever. And I'm just gonna get started with that, and we're gonna go from there. Now I'm gonna get my bacon started in my cast iron skillet. As you guys can see, I got the skillet on a medium heat. I'm gonna render the fat from the bacon so that I don't have to use any extra olive oil or butter to cook my pork chops in. So. All right, now this is the color that I was looking for when it comes to the bacon. It's pretty much done now, so I'm gonna take it out, put it on a piece of paper towel, drain off any excess fat, set it to the side, and finish working on the rest of the meal. All right, for seasoning my pork chops, I'm literally gonna just use some sea salt, black pepper, garlic powder. Garlic powder is king in this house. I always use garlic powder. I didn't want to use the traditional seasonings I always use, like seasoning salt and cayenne and all those extra things, because I want to keep it simple today with the pork chops. Salt and pepper do the job. Garlic powder comes through. The thyme cream sauce is really gonna like set the flavor on fire, if you will. It's really gonna like bring out what I'm trying to accomplish with this particular recipe. And that's why I'm gonna keep it simple with just the salt and pepper and garlic powder. Alright guys, travel tip number 1. Always check in at least 24 hours before your scheduled flight. Now I know you guys are saying that's what you're supposed to do anyway. Yes it is, but a lot of you do not do that. And a lot of you, including myself. But checking in 24 hours before your flight has a couple benefits. One benefit is you may have the option to change your seat. For example, if you're stuck in the back of the plane in the middle seat, checking in early could alleviate all that craziness and you can change your seat. Also, checking in 24 hours before your flight, you may be able to get an upgrade. It's not guaranteed, it's not promised, but it's possible because it's happened to me, especially traveling internationally. An upgrade to Economy Plus or Business is like, hallelujah. It's amazing because you're so cramped up in those regular coach seats during those long haul flights that an upgrade is something that you would so appreciate. And so just check in at least 24 hours before and see what happens for you. Now for my rice, I'm using Uncle Ben's rice. They didn't have any of the regular dollar rice in the bag that I usually buy. I've never made this before, but it shouldn't be too difficult. It's just rice. I know that for 1 cup of rice is 2 cups of water, so I'm gonna make 2 cups of rice, so that means I need to put in 4 cups of water. It's just me and my roommate tonight that's eating, so I'm not gonna make a lot, but I do want some leftovers for tomorrow, so hopefully this will be enough rice for both of us and for us to have some for tomorrow as well. So I'm gonna get this on the stove. I'm gonna put some butter in there. Like I couldn't find any stick butter, so I'm on a couple tablespoons of this Imperial. Throw that in there, bring this up to a boil. Then once it starts boiling, put it back at a simmer, put the top on, let it do its thing, and continue focusing on the rest of the meal. All right. The next tip, be nice to the airline employees, ticket agents, gate agents, and especially the flight attendants. Now, when you come to the airport, when you're checking in and checking your luggage, you might have a luggage that is overweight, right? A lot of us do. We overpack. Every time we travel, it's ridiculous because we don't wear half the stuff that we pack. Anyway, makes our suitcases over the weight limit and there's a fee. If you, by chance, are super nice to the ticket agent, when you act like you care and you are simply being nice, a smile, how are you, how's your day going, things like that, that matters, and ticket agents care about that. So if your bag is 53 pounds and whatever ounces and the limit is 50 pounds, no matter what, they're supposed to charge you whatever the fee is per their airline's regulations. But by you being so kind to them, they probably will let you get away with it. If you come up there nasty and they say, and they tell you what it is, hey, your bag is over the limit, and you get sassy and all of that, they're gonna charge you that fee. You're gonna be looking dumb, and that's a bad start to your vacation. The gate agents, you know, when you're getting ready to board the plane and they take your ticket and they scan it, those guys, be nice to them. Be nice to them. You know why? Because they could upgrade you. On a lot of airlines apps, like United, for example, you can see the seat map of the entire plane. You can see what seats are occupied, what seats are not. And if you are in the back in row 28 and in row 28 in the seat B or E, those are middle seats, you can see what seats are available. And by you being kind or nice to the gate agent, saying, hey, you know, going up there, how you doing today? I have a request or question. You know, be nice, be kind, be warm, be approachable. Like, go to them like you would want somebody to come to you. Go to the gate agents like you would want somebody to come to you. Hey, I see that there's a few open seats. I see in row 16 there's an aisle or window. Do you mind if I move there? Depending on the section of the plane, meaning coach, business, first, it could be free or it could cost you. But based on how you treat them, that's how they're going to respond to you. So if you go to them with kindness, you know, and warm, more than likely they're going to move you for free and without an issue. Because a lot of you guys don't know that when it's time to board the plane, it's time to get the plane to go back on time. They're rushing and they don't have time to do favors and extra stuff. They just want to get the flight out, get it off the gate, and get it in the sky. That's their job. And so when you go to them and you're very nice, they'll sacrifice maybe almost being late. They ain't gonna be late, but pushing it to the limit for you because you were nice to them. So be mindful of that when you go to the gate agents. And last but not least, the flight attendants. Now this is personal for me because I'm a flight attendant. When you're going on the plane and we greet you, good morning sir, welcome aboard, good morning ma'am, welcome aboard, speak back. Speak back. It does not take much to say hello. It does not even take much to acknowledge that we spoke to you. If you don't feel like saying hi, just nod or smile, something, some type of acknowledgement, because I get so many rude passengers that come on and not speak. And I used to take it personally, but I had to basically charge to the game. That's just how some people were raised. Some people don't have home training, whatever, and not take it personally. But when you're nice to me, I'm always nice because that's my job and I'm just a nice person. But when you're nice to me, I'm deliberately nice to you. I'm extra nice to you. And I'll probably do a favor for if you need me, I'll be quicker to help you. Also, if you know that you're going to be traveling, a lot of times we don't get to get off the planes in certain cities and get to eat or get to snack. Bring the crew a snack. For example, if you're in New Orleans, they have beignets. It's like a New Orleans delicacy. It's a nice pastry type donut type thing. It's so good, amazing. I don't know any other airport in America that has them or sells them at the airport, but New Orleans. If you're there, it doesn't gotta. And I'm just giving an example. If you're there, bring a 6 on a plane and give it to the crew. Hey guys, I know you guys are working hard. You probably need to eat today. Here, y'all. That goes a long way. That's gonna get you free drinks, comped drinks. That's gonna probably get you upgraded to bigger seats, or depending on the airline, to first class business. It's gonna definitely, you're gonna definitely be remembered by the flight attendant. So always remember to treat the airline employees with kindness, okay?
Now it's time to work on my sauce/gravy. I'm gonna throw in a chopped onion and cook it down for a few minutes as the base of the sauce. I'm going to then add in minced garlic because I love minced garlic and I put garlic in pretty much everything. I'm gonna cook it down for about 30 seconds to a minute. I do not want the garlic to burn, and garlic burns rather quickly when you have it on a hot skillet. Next, I'm gonna add in my fresh thyme. Y'all, it smells so good. And it tastes so good. I never knew how important fresh herbs were until I started using them. And then I'm gonna add in my flour. I'm gonna add it in a little bit at a time because I do not want it to clump. And this is just basically to set the thickness of the sauce/gravy. Once I cook down that flour and get that flour taste out, I'll start adding in my chicken stock or chicken broth, whatever you have, and start to whisk it up until it gets to a nice consistency. Last but not least, I'll add in my heavy whipping cream, and I'll add that in slow, but as you see, I'll continue to whisk. I don't want any clumps, nor do I want it to scorch up and burn the cream. And there you have it, my gravy for my pork chops.
The next tip, notify your bank when you're traveling overseas. Or when you're traveling to another state, because you can be from New York and in California and swipe your card and get declined because of fraud. Banks are not playing around these days and they're not taking any chances. But especially when you go overseas. You traveling to London and you live in New York and it's 10 a.m. in London. It's probably, I think, 3 a.m. in New York. Your bank and their customer service department is closed. So you swipe your card, it's gonna deny, it's gonna freeze because they're thinking it's fraud because you did not tell your bank that you were going to London for a vacation. So now you're looking silly with no money, can't do anything because your card is frozen because you failed to notify your bank. It'll save you a lot of heartache and hassle. Just to remember, just call them. It's a quick conversation, quick phone call, no more than 3 minutes once you speak to a live person, and that settles it. And a lot of times you can do it online. A lot of times you can change the settings or notify the bank through your online profile, depending on what type of bank, what bank you're banking with. So just keep that in mind. The next tip, oh my goodness, this one's also personal. Bring an extra outfit, an extra pair of underwear, extra t-shirt, and your carry-on. Because if you check all your belongings and your check luggage, it's not guaranteed that your luggage will meet you at your destination. You know how I know? Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Because I experienced it firsthand. About 2 years ago, my friends and I took a trip to Egypt. And me and my girl Hannah, we were traveling out of Chicago. And since we're employees, they typically board us last, like the last passengers. Go on, introduce yourself to the pilots and the flight attendants, go to your respective seats. Well, I had a bag that was the standard carry-on, it's my work luggage. And they're like, oh, we're gonna check it. And I'm like, it's literally the standard. Whatever, I'm on my benefits, I don't wanna be that guy. So I let them check it. I'm like, but guys, we're about to push back. Are you sure it's gonna make it? Yeah, it's gonna make it, it's gonna make it. We're gonna throw it, we're gonna throw it on there. Whatever. Keep in mind, they're trying to make sure we're not delayed. So they're gonna do everything in their power to get that door closed, that plane off the gate and in the sky. No matter if they're leaving bags or not. How do I know this? Because I work in the industry and it happens all the time. So you're trying to get the flight out on time. The flight's supposed to depart in 15 minutes. You're probably not gonna get my bag on there. And guess what, when we got to Egypt, my bag was not there. And guess who had all of their stuff in their check luggage? Me. I blame myself because I had a book bag too, but I also blame the airline because I did not expect to check a bag. Needless to say, I didn't have anything. I had to wait an extra day just to get my luggage, so I was out there dirty. Luckily though, I have a best friend, Kendall. Thank you, brother, thank you. He had extra basketball shorts, t-shirts, even underwear. That's my dog, like whatever I needed, that boy had it. And I was good. I was able to shower and change, and then I was able to get my stuff from the airport the next day. But to leave it all at, in the future, I know to always have extra stuff and my literal carry-on that I get to bring on the plane, just in case that happens again. Alright guys, the next tip is pickpocketers. Yes, pickpocketers. They exist. They exist here in the States too, but you're not much of a target when you are local. I don't even want to go into explaining how I came up with that thought process, but when you're overseas, you are a target. You are a target when you're overseas. So be mindful of pickpocketers. For example, me, I carry my wallet in my back pocket. I even carry my cell phone in my back pocket. And I would be like winning the lottery because my cards are in my wallet, you know what I'm saying, my ID, my phone, of course. iPhone is expensive. They would have a field day. They would make money or whatever they do. They would really be happy with finding my wallet and my phone in my back pocket. So when I travel overseas, I keep everything in my front pockets. That way, I mean, I can see my front pockets. I'm more likely can feel, you know, more nerves up here, I guess. I don't know what's happening. But even beyond that, if you're wearing a jacket, you know, make sure it has zippers and put your things in there, put the things in your jacket. But what I really have invested in is an over-the-shoulder bag, over-the-shoulder type pouch that zips up. Or this thing, I've carried this with me too. Hold on. This thing right here. This thing right here, it's like it's like a magazine pouches. It looks like an LBV in the military. We wear these when we put our ammo and stuff in there. But has zippers, front pouches, and it's attached to me. It's like a harness, like a little harness. And they can't just like grab it and run away. And plus the zippers, and it's literally so convenient. I love it. It's actually, they became popular, I want to say last year, 2019, these harness I don't even know what to call this thing. But it's very, very useful when you're going overseas and you're trying to evade being pickpocketed, because everything's right here and you can touch it and you're literally walking like this. And nobody's gonna be able to get what they want from you, steal from you, and run off with your items. So I would invest, like I said, in one of those over-the-shoulder bags or one of these fashionable harness situation. All right, guys. The next tip is don't be flashy. Don't be flashy. All of this jewelry, watch, ring, earrings, all that, it's personal to me because when I went to South Africa, I went to Johannesburg one time. And I remember I was with my driver. He took us to various neighborhoods around Johannesburg, Sautéed, and all these other, like, you're in the heart of Johannesburg type neighborhoods, in the hood. And he literally told me to take off my necklace and take off my watch, because when I was walking past a group of guys, they were all staring at me. And he already knew, like, I guess they gave him a signal. I don't know what was the communication that took place, but he literally, thank God he was who he was, told me to take my stuff off. And I was like, why? And he's like, because they will rob you. They will rob you. And I'm like, but why? Like, I'm black, you know? And he's like, yeah, but you're not like our black. And now for the first time in my life, I have ever heard that before. I'm like, I'm not your black? Like, what is that supposed to mean? And he's like, you're not from here, and they can spot you out like a sore thumb. Like, so basically, take your jewelry off so you don't become such an easy target. Yeah, they welcome tourists and all that, but they don't appreciate when you are flashy, because then they're gonna try to take what you have. And ultimately, that sucks for you. So I took my jewelry off, and I knew going forward, so when I go outside, just, you know, I'll throw on my earrings, but I'm not gonna throw on the necklaces, because I actually layer my necklaces. My sister has a jewelry line, Know Your Saints. Know Your Saints, and she has all these awesome statement pieces, and they can be flashy and look like you got a lot of money especially when you layer them. And then I have this nice watch, and it was just too much. So I know going out in certain countries that I need to just keep it simple, keep it as simple as possible, so that I will not get robbed.
All right, so now I'm going to begin to work on my baby spinach. I'll get some olive oil into the skillet, let it heat up and do its thing. Then I'll add some chopped onions. I use chopped onions as the base of my baby spinach because it adds amazing flavor and a nice texture to it. You'll see me add a lot of baby spinach in there because baby spinach wilts up very finely and you need a lot.
tip, do not take cash when you're traveling abroad. Now, many may disagree with me. That's okay. This is my travel tips. I say don't take out cash because when you try to convert it to or exchange it to the currency of whatever country you're in, it's gonna be way more expensive. No matter if you do it at the airport, no matter if you do it at a local currency exchange, the fees are just ridiculous. They're always ridiculous. You never know if you're getting a good deal. You never know if you can go somewhere else and find a better deal. It's just too much of a hassle trying to make sure you don't lose as much money when you're doing a conversion. My advice is make sure you notify your bank like I mentioned before, but also take out your money from the ATM. When you're in a particular country, don't do that, and don't do it at the airport because it's gonna be way more expensive there. Like the fees at the airport will be way more expensive. But when you're in another country, go to a local bank or you see an ATM in a safe area, not a place that looks sketchy. Take the money out of the ATM because you'll get charged your bank's international fee if your bank does that. My bank doesn't, but a lot of banks have an international fee, exchange fee or whatever. But it's that one-time fee. So if you know you're going to be in this particular country for 3 days, what's your budget for 3 days? Take out the money you need for your budget, and that's that. That way you don't have to keep swiping your card. That way you don't have to worry about being overcharged for conversion rates when you're trying to exchange dollars to their dollars. Instead, you just use your card and take the money out of the ATM. Saves you a lot of money and saves you a lot of hassle. The next tip, when you are traveling abroad and you have a layover in a particular city, make sure you're booking flights with longer than 30-minute, longer than 1 hour layovers, because a lot of times when you're connecting and trying to get from one country to the next and you have a layover, the gates can be in two totally different concourses. So you can arrive, say for example, you're leaving from Chicago and you're trying to get to Egypt. There's no direct flight from Chicago to Egypt. So you have to connect probably in a city in Europe, maybe London or Spain or Paris or something like that. So when you have to connect in that city in London, for example, and you only have an hour to catch your flight from London to Egypt, it's not, sorry. What was I at? When you're booking your flight and you're going from London to Egypt from a connection and you only have an hour to do it, you can land at C12 and your flight going to Egypt can be at F16. That's D, E, and that's 3 concourses over, depending on how the airport is even made, how far that is. It's just a hassle that you do not want. I'm only speaking because I've been through this. I only speak on things I know about. So I've been through this. I've almost missed flights a lot of times, lots of times. And it's stressful. It's stressful because my layovers were only an hour or 55 minutes, and it's like that's not enough time to get through customs and all of that, border patrol, because a lot of countries you got to go through security more than once. It's just like, what the hell? Why am I going through this again? I already went through security to even get on the plane, so I'm getting off the plane, I gotta go through security again just to get to the airport. Like, it's just a lot. It's a lot. So if you could book your flights with at least an hour and a half layover, between each flight, that's feasible. You can do it in an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? I save 2 hours or more, but I've done it in an hour. It's just stressful, but at least give yourself an hour and a half to connect to your next flight when you're traveling abroad. It saves you so much stress, okay?
I probably should have got you a steak knife.
I can make this work. It's soft.
Okay, good.
That's just a big piece.
Look.
I gotta do a little bit of everything.
It's good. You heard it here first.
All right, guys, this video is coming to a close. I really enjoy making the pork chops for you guys. Hopefully you will try the recipe. And once you do, let me know how it goes. You know, tag me in your videos or your posts on social media. I would love to give my thought and opinion to it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Also tell your neighbor about me, your friend, your cousin, whoever about that's my cue. Also, if these travel tips helped you, please let me know in the comments, and also help me out with, you know, some ideas for what to do for the next video. Until next time,